Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Dreamstruck. It's a wonderful evening where we all kind of gather together, gather around the table, and we choose to dream together. And we learn so much. We have a lot of fun. There's laughter, a lot of learning. So make sure that you take some notes. And if you love it, make sure that you invite, some team members for next week. We meet every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern for just an hour. So we're very respectful of everyone's time. But without further ado, tonight we are going to jump into the topic of sponsoring. Okay. And before we get into that, it's been about a week and I need to make sure that I add Carol. Carol. Oh, try to add Carol here. Carol as, there we go. Okay. Okay, so we're going to talk about sponsoring. You might say, we talked about that last week. Yeah, well, we talked about it the week before too. The reason being is that we have a $20 join opportunity that's going on right now. The only other time that we had a $20 join opportunity was literally legit a year ago. So it's kind of a big deal. I know many of our teams have had really great progress. This week, we're kind of like, the wheels are kind of down a little bit, and we want to wind the wheels back up tonight. The kit is still available, and we want to address some of the roadblocks that you might be having, some of the obstacles, and we just want to challenge everyone to not sleep on this opportunity, because what you do now could impact you earning the current incentive, which is our Keep Going, Keep Growing incentive, and also that's going to plug you into our fall incentive. Okay, so you don't want to have any regrets saying, darn it, I wish that I would have built a team when we had the $20 opportunity. So we're going to get into that. But before we do that, let's just kind of break the ice tonight. And I want to talk and ask a question to the panelists. I know all the panelists have done events. And at events, that's a great opportunity. A lot of people think that events are for selling a whole bunch of product, making a whole bunch of money. You can do that. But events are really about networking. Is everyone on mute?
Oh, I thought you would be in the car.
Okay, sorry. I had to make sure everyone was muted. So at events are also meant for networking. To introduce yourself to new potential party hosts, new contacts, new potential team members. So with that being said, I have a question for the evening for all of our panelists. And my question is, if you can look back at all the events that you've done over the years, and I have a feeling that Kelly's going to have something to bring to the table, can you tell us one thing that pops in your mind of either an embarrassing moment or a something that kind of caught you off guard with a customer that came to your booth, but just something that happened that was kind of, had to be anything specific, but the first thing that kind of comes to your mind, something funny, something unusual, something that was said, something that was smelled, anything. So I guess whoever wants to unmute themselves first, by all means. Okay, Dorothy's ready.
Yes. I was thinking as you were saying that, and something immediately came into my head. It was just recently. I was probably about a month ago, and I was at an event, and greeted the customer. How are you? She wanted to smell the bars. We were talking about them, and she's like, I can't remember. She goes, I can't remember the name of the scent, but it smelled whatever. And she's like, it was like, I don't remember, like booty call or something. And I was like, what? and one of my daughters were there, and we looked at each other, and we kind of went down all the familiar scents and everything. And it turned out it was skinny dipping.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Immediately guessed that. I knew it. As soon as you said it, booty call, I was like, yeah. I would have been like, yeah.
So just what is she talking about? I don't think it's a Scentsy fragrance, So.
We should make up a game.
Bath and Body Works. I was like, this is a booty call candle.
So I have a fun fact. The actual name of that oil is called Buck Naked, but they couldn't use that because someone else had.
Really?
So skinny dipping is Buck Naked in some other fragrance thing.
How neat. I never knew that. That's awesome. So yeah, so that was my share. Someone else?
That was really
make
good.
that into
That
an
was really
online
good.
game.
Your turn, Kelly or Carol. Who wants to go next? And really, it could be a weird compliment that you received at an event, but something strange, funny that's happened at an event over the years.
Go ahead, Cal. I have two, so I can easily share two things.
I don't
that
have
happened.
any.
Oh,
Kelly,
well,
you always have stories. You're the storyteller, so we're going to circle back to you. But Carol, the floor is yours.
okay, so I have two. One, a guy walked up and we were warming orange chiffon cake, which hasn't come back in a really, really long time. And he walked up and said, "Are these to sample?" And we were like, "Yeah," we weren't paying attention. Our back was turned. We turned around just in time as the guy was going to put the wax cube in his mouth and eat it. And so I was like, "Well, it's safe to eat. It's not going to come out the same, and I don't think you're going to like it either if you actually eat it." So we had one guy try to eat the cubes of wax. I've had multiple times that they ask if these are lip glosses, which were the basket testers. People want to use them as lip gloss. I'm sure many of you guys, I see you nodding your heads like, yeah, we've had that one. And then I had two customers in my booth once, and it was a husband and wife. And we were telling, and this was back in the beginning when we had to explain what Scentsy was, that it was safe. You could touch the wax, you could stick your finger in it, it won't burn you. It's warm to the touch, like bath water. And he's like, "Oh, honey, we can pour this on each other." And I was like, "As long as you buy from me, I really don't care what you do with it later." But I was like, "No, you keep that information to yourself." But yeah, so I've had tons of those types of things happen in my booth.
Oh my gosh, I'm literally crying. Oh my goodness. And sometimes even as a consultant, you feel like a bartender. Do you ever feel like a bartender, like some of the stories that you hear when people are sniffing bars and placing their orders and stuff? It's like, whoa, I didn't hear that. But so I'm still going to circle back to Kelly because I know she's thinking I know she has some funny, crazy stories. She always does wherever she goes. But I want to share two stories. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny at the time. This was my very first big event. And I remember messaging Carol. She's like, "Girl, that's like a $20,000 event." And I probably had like maybe $3,000 worth. And I thought I was going big at the time. So anyway, I have everything set up, and Debbie Fitzpalmer is helping me with, where to put this and to be so strategic. And I was so excited because I had my Disney warmers, and then Star Wars was released. So I was like, "Ooh, I got the big honcho here with Darth Vader." Everything. I was just ready to go. Business was booming. Everyone was getting the Christmas cottage bars. And all of a sudden this lady comes in and she's like, "Oh my gosh, do you have Star Wars? I've been looking for Star Wars." And I was like, "I sure do." I was like, "Right here on the back table." And she went right over there. I don't know why, but she lifted the lid of the head of Darth Vader, and then boom. And everybody in the booth just like stopped what they were doing. They put their bars down and they like immediately just kind of walked away. And I was like, "That's a $75 warmer, What do you do?" So anyway, it's funny now because the way that everything kind of led up to it, and I was able to get a replacement when the lid came back, but I was like, "Oh my gosh, lady." So anyway, that was not so funny at the time, but afterwards I was like, well, if that's the worst that would happen, then okay. Now, what is funny, this was not an event. This was actually this weekend. I haven't done a lot of events yet because of COVID, but I'm getting ready to get back into them. But I had a customer, well, they're not on here, but anyway, they're in the middle of a separation. So the wife buys for me, and then the husband buys for me. The wife took all the warmers, so he needed more. And he had the daughter. And so we were in the back of my trunk, and I had just, a few little scent bars that I thought he would like, some masculine scents. He wanted some Christmas scents. And then I had some Disney scents. Well, the little girl wanted, what was it? She wanted the Little Mermaid and, and all the little Disney scents. And he was like, "No, you can choose one." And she's like, "But Daddy, I want 3." And he's like, "Baby, you can choose one." Now, meanwhile, he's getting everything he wants. He's got his Christmas pine scents. He's got his Star Wars. And he keeps going back to her, telling her one. So the little girl looks at me and she's like, "Do we have to buy these?" And I was like, "Yes." And so she's sniffing. But the whole time me and the dad's talking, she's trying to steal the bars, you guys. And she's a cute little girl. She's like 5 years old. And I see her like, he's putting them back in the basket. She's taking them back out, trying to put them in her pocket. And I was like, oh my gosh, this little 5-year-old girl is trying to steal me. So the whole time he's trying to talk to me, I'm trying to take the bars back from the little girl. Anyway, I tell you, sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying, right? So who else do we have? Do we have Emily Goodnick that's on? I think she was hopping on over here. If you are, go ahead and unmute yourself, or Kelly, if you're ready to share a story.
And
I'm
Debbie's
ready.
here too.
I'm ready. But you know what? I did the phone a friend, and I got Fred in here who's done events by himself. So we're gonna hear from a Scentsy spouse on something crazy funny that happened to him.
Okay, yay, hey Fred.
Hey everybody. Yeah, I think it was super funny when I did the Women's Expo. I think Kelly went to Florida for leadership or something like that.
I was with Teresa.
And the thing is, it's like when they came to the booth, a lot of people were looking for Kelly because we have a big Kelly Rashaw banner and phone number and everything else like that. And they were asking for Kelly. And I'm like, well, I'm Fred. And they were like, well, I'm like, I'm the husband. And I was like, yeah, Kelly's in Florida on a beach somewhere. And it was like snowing here, I think it was. And I was like, yeah, you know, you guys have to buy stuff. Then that way she don't think I failed. So it's basically I used her being in Florida as a basically saying like, oh well, you guys have to buy from me so my wife won't be mad. So actually that was probably like one of the best, if not the best show that we had. I sold like everything.
Tell me about your Scentsy Starter Kit.
Oh, my Scentsy Starter Kit. That I sold like 100 of those. Like basically I was telling people, I was like, I have this spiel where I'm like, hey, have you heard of Scentsy? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, Scentsy's this. I have a spiel that I tell people what Scentsy is. And then I tell them about my Scentsy Starter Kit for $26, which is basically a plug-in and a bar of your choice. So I have them pick out a plug-in and a bar, and that's their Scentsy Starter Kit. And I give them all of our information. I'm like, you're going to love it. Put it in your kitchen, your bathroom, your kids' room, wherever you want. You can take it traveling with you. You can put it in your hotel when your hotel room smells like cigarettes. And Sean who? Oh yeah, Sean. And then my homeboy Z-Man Sean, he helped me with the event. And it was and he's like super like socially awkward, but he's a part of our team and he helped me out a ton. He knew what the prices were, which helped out a lot because we were super busy. But it's just we have so many different funny stories. Like funny stories of just trying out new spiels to get people to buy stuff at events. Like challenge, yeah, like we she'll have like a woman that we want to get rid of, and then she'll challenge me to sell it, and I'll just basically go up to people and be like, hey, well look at this one, and then I'll just make up something on the fly, and you can tell they're like,
You remember the big old turkey from your?
Oh yeah, Tom the turkey.
Yeah, Fred had to sell that.
Yeah.
And then we had it's like big Christmas globes.
Oh
and
yeah.
like the big Christmas ornament globe type things. I sold 5 of them to one lady because I told her that each one of her kids needed one for Christmas, and she bought 5 of them at one event.
See, people probably just go sorry for you. They see Kelly Rashaw's banner in the background.
Yeah, it's like, and then
Fred, they're trying to match them.
Yeah,
they're like, we got to help him out.
It was like, man, tell Scentsy, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, they sure do.
And then
this is why Kelly always put.
And she always has me branded with the Real Men Sell Scentsy shirts or Scentsy Security, or my wife is a Wax Boss shirts.
Yeah.
So,
well, this is why Kelly always says, if you don't have a Fred, you need a Fred, because Fred will help you with the events. Fred will help you sell the warmers that you can't normally move. Fred will get done. So that's funny. Yeah, but thank you for sharing. Yay.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. All right. Did you say, Carol, that Debbie or Emily was on?
Yeah, both are on. Emily and Debbie they're here.
Okay, all right. So Debbie, if one of you guys want to unmute yourselves, or Emily, I think you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey everybody. So we're sharing funny stories.
Yeah, just a quick funny story, and then we're going to jump into sponsoring. I just wanted to open up with something different tonight.
Well, I don't have anything super funny. Nothing comes to mind except a conversation I had with a friend of mine. She's not on my team, but she messaged me once to tell me, like, I've got to tell you the funniest story. And I said, what? And she said that she had sold similar to something like what happened to Carol. She had a customer who bought a gift for her mom or her mother-in-law. It was a mini warmer and a bar of Christmas cottage. And the mom or the mother-in-law, whoever it was, followed up with her, messaged her down the road asking her, hey, what was the name of that candy that you sent with the nightlight? She goes, the candy? She said, yeah, the little package of the red candy. She goes, that wasn't candy. That, because the mom goes, I want to get more. Like, where can I get more? And she goes, that's not candy, that's wax, and it was meant to go in the nightlight, aka plug-in warmer. And it's not even like she wanted to take the entire bar, ate it, like ate the whole thing. You'd think after like one little bite, she'd figure out that like it was waxy and not. I don't know, but she ate the entire thing and then wanted to buy more. And she just said, Emily, is she going to be okay? And I said, well, thankfully it's non-toxic. She probably just had to pass through her gut, but
yeah. We're going to see her on one of those shows, you know, those weird shows that they have on TV where it's like, I like gasoline. She's not on here. So I can say she's probably going to be on one of those episodes.
Yeah, My Strange Addiction. They eat, like, the people that eat toilet paper, the people that lick, charcoal briskets, or the people that only eat French fries. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Okay. All right, and then Debbie does, well, before COVID, she did a ton of events. Debbie, are you on? She might be driving. If not, we'll circle back.
I'm here.
Oh, Debbie. Okay, hey, Debbie. So tell us a funny story. I know you have those many events that you do.
The first event I can recall, it was a fundraiser event. And when I called the person and they had these requirements, he said, when you work this event, I need you to have enough products to fill 6 tables. And I think I had been with Scentsy for about 3 months. So of course I didn't have enough products to fill 6 tables. But what I had my warmer, I had my kit, I had the testers, I had catalogs. So I took the warmer, put it on one table. I put the testers on another table. I put the catalogs on another table. I put everything I had in the kit on each table. It was the emptiest fundraiser ever. I had nothing, but I wanted to get my foot in the door. So when he came in, he said, I thought you had enough products to put on 6 tables. But he didn't know that I had the capability of taking orders. I said, if I just get in there, I'm going to take some orders. He was so upset with me, but that particular event turned out to be the best one I've ever done. And I still have it until COVID. So yeah, that was real funny.
So that is actually very funny because you did meet the criteria. He said 6 tables. So like me, I probably would have had a light bulb, one of every color on each table. So that is funny. Okay. So, excuse me, I had some sort of allergy crap going on this week. So excuse me if my voice is kind of weird, but I want to go ahead and jump in. So you might say, well, why did you guys do that? We're at the end of May and some of us, our kids are getting out of school, some are graduating. We're just kind of winding down. So I was like, instead of just jumping all the way into business, let's kind of, break the ice a little bit, let's laugh, and then let's go ahead and transition into where we are at the end of this month. I can say that, overall, I believe as a company that we're doing very, very well. Last year was crazy, because we're still actually in hyper growth, but we have the $20 join special that's still available, as I mentioned before. I was sharing, I think with Debbie or Kelly, that when we had our Dream Struck on May the 4th, for my organization, that was our absolute best day ever with sponsoring. Why? Because we were intentional. We kind of worked it together here on Dreamstruck as far as obstacles, conversations, that could take place. And then we all worked together here live and started, texting and messaging. And when I say it was our best day ever this month, a lot of it happened after Dreamstruck, like even after 8 p.m. Central Time. So I believe that we can end this month with a bang. You know, I know that many of us have met some milestones. I believe Carol and the Global Empire have reached beyond 15,000, a group of 15,000, which is absolutely incredible. But we don't have to stop here, right? We don't. We see that there's so many of us that are earning level 1 of the current incentive, level 2, and some are already at level 3. We really want everyone to earn, you know, the highest level that you possibly can. But in order to do that, you have to sponsor. If you're a new consultant, Scentsy creates some incentives like Sensational Start to help you build your business. And in order to earn Sensational Start, there's one component where you will want to sponsor. So that's what we want to talk about tonight. Okay, so we're just going to circle back around with the panelists again. And the question that I have is, we're at the end of the month. We still have this kit. Now, last year, maybe a few days ago or a week ago, the kit just ran out. We just didn't have the supplies to continue it through the end of the month. We are blessed and we still have it as of now. It could go away before, you know, next week. But what is your advice to everyone that's listening right now? You know, what tips can you give everyone? Like, there might be some that have already sponsored, you know, 1 or 2 team members, and they're excited about that. And there might be some, and that's who I really want to speak to, who want to sponsor, but they're literally at a 0, and they've kind of given up, saying, well, I've asked a few people, but nothing's happening for me. So I wanted to just kind of circle around and say, at the end of the month, what is one bit of advice that you would give that person that has a team of 0? And we'll go ahead with Carol.
Oh, sorry, I'm muted. Okay. So one of the things is you always have to continue to ask, because, yeah, I mean, just because they say no right now doesn't mean no forever. And so it's important to continue to ask. And the more you ask, the better you get over time. And so, and guess what? I mean, if you don't have anybody, sometimes I found the first recruit is the hardest. And then after that, they just keep coming and coming. Some of you guys who have sponsored a lot already, work to train them all together, so you're working smarter, not harder. But, you know, I find sometimes sponsoring goes in clusters. You get 1, or maybe you get 3 all at once, and then you might go for a little dry spell, and then you get some more. And so that is absolutely okay. And if you haven't had anybody jump at the $20 special, that's okay. It sucks, because I am honest, you know, perfectly honest here. I'm in the same boat. None of my people want to jump for the $20 special. I'm like, this is a no-brainer. It's $20. But no, I don't have one for the $20. So, and I've been doing this a long time. You think I'm real good at closing, but this month, not happening for me. And so, and then Megan says, what if you can't find anyone that likes Scentsy or thinks it's too much money? Like, well, it's not too much money right now because it's $20 to join, but they also get 20% discount. So that's the best way for them to get it at a discount. And if they don't like Scentsy, they're probably not a good fit for our company. You're looking for people that love this product, that want to be a part of our community, that love this product, and they can't live without it. That's the whole reason that I joined this business, was because I couldn't live without it, and I wanted to get my products at a discount. And now we have 15,000 people in my organization, all because I wanted to join just to get a discount. I wasn't looking to build or to do things with this business. I just wanted my home to smell amazing and not to pay full price. And so that's what you're looking for, somebody who absolutely loves the product. And so if you can't find anybody, you're just not asking enough people. So you need to continue to keep asking people.
Yep. Thank you, Carol. You know, one of the things that I saw last night, you know, I was laying down and I was kind of cruising through Facebook, and I stopped and I saw someone that I just met in Tennessee, and she was sharing a story. She was sharing a story about her sister being with Scentsy, and I didn't realize I knew her sister. I met her in New Orleans, but her sister was a director in Scentsy, asked her to join, and she was like, no, I'm not doing that, not interested, not going to do it. And then all of a sudden, she found herself at a crossroad in life where she didn't have money. She didn't have money barely to buy dog food or just the essentials that she needed. I don't know if she mentioned something like maybe there was a breakup in a relationship. I can't remember, but life just wasn't dealing her, positivity at the moment. And so she realized that she did need money. And so she thought, well, let me go ahead and, give this a shot. And she did. She gave a shot. And she just kind of took us on a journey through her stories, and Instagram and Facebook. And I mean, I was like bought into it. I wanted to know what happened to her, what happened to her dog, and was she able to get the dog food? Like I wanted to know everything. And so I'm watching it, and then all of a sudden she was like, I had no idea. She was like, matter of fact, that was 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I was just 23 years old. Now, 4 years later, I'm just 27 years old. But I'm a superstar director. I was like, what? But your dog is being fed for sure. And it's not even just getting like the generic Dollar General brand. Your dog is getting fed. So I'm watching the story, and the story keeps going. And she was like, I promoted to this and this amount of time. I was a star director for 6 months, and then boom, I made it to superstar director. Life has been so blessed. I never saw this coming. I didn't even realize that this potential was available. My life is not where it was 4 years ago. And at that point, I am just bought in. So I'm sharing that because if you haven't told a story yet, whether you've gone live or images or whatever, tell a story. If you've made posts, great, that's informative. But take it a step further. And before this week is over with, the next 24 hours, I want you to tell your story. Your story is not my story, but tell a story that's going to make someone stop their scroll like I did last night. Make them wonder about your dog and how he's eating. Okay. So anyway, I just want to share that while it was on my mind. And okay, and we'll go to the next panelist. Go ahead and unmute yourself. And what is your tip as we close this month?
I would revisit your list of 100. I'm sure you guys, I hope if you're not, I hope that you start, but something that I do quite often is reevaluate my list of 100. And I'm sure on your list of 100, you have people that are either people that you want to be a customer. Maybe they would make a great host. Socially they're well connected, or someone that you think could use extra money or would enjoy it simply because maybe they want to make friends, or again, they love the social aspect. So it's important to, I personally like to color code things. So I highlight, I create a legend and I highlight, who I think would serve what. And just remember too, that even if someone doesn't want to buy, host, or join, specifically join, it doesn't cost anyone a thing to simply offer you a referral. So if you've got some kind of referral program, you can simply say, look, I'm looking to grow my team in your area. Maybe you have a notice date friend or something. Can you think of anyone that is maybe at home or, is off work sick that maybe could use a little extra money right now? And, let them tell you. Sometimes they'll say, well, I can't think of anybody offhand, but I'll let you know if I do. And then chances are, it's happened to me where they tell me that. And then a week later, they say, you know what, I had somebody was posting on their Facebook and I thought of you, and I let them know and I sent them your information, and it's resulted in a new team member. So you just never know. But as Carol said, just, revisit and ask. The other day on Debbie's page, actually, I have to give her credit. She was posting, she was telling her team, challenging her team to hold up a $20 bill and say, come up with something to share, right? And so I did the same thing. And of course, at first in my head, I thought, well, it's $26 in Canada, so I can't just hold up a $20 bill. I got to hold up 6 loonies or a 20, a 5 and a loonie, or 3 toonies, whatever. But I didn't let it stop. Held it up anyway. And I said, I just said simply, for those of you that don't know, I like to collect cups, Starbucks cups specifically. And so I've met a few people through that community. And I said, whoever thought that you could buy a business cheaper than you could buy a Starbucks cup? And I said, whatever your guilty pleasure is, let Scentsy pay for it. And what's funny is I had a lot of interaction on that post, and it's funny, someone that I've known forever must have seen my post, because she said, how do I sign up? So I just posted the link right there, and she ended up, I messaged her and I said, let me know if you yeah, I've been thinking about it a long time. And she's like, seeing your post, I knew it was just, I saw it as a sign. And so did I think that that was going to result in a recruit? No. But did it? Yes. And it just happened to be right moment, right timing. But had I let that fear in my head say, nah, I'm not going to post it or whatever, she might not have joined my team. So you just never know, and just get creative with it. Another team member of mine did the same thing, because I took her idea, I posted it myself, but I challenged my team to do the same thing. And those who would share their $20 bill picture, I'd post it and I'd shout them out for being brave and sharing that photo. Well, one girl said that she didn't have a $20 bill. And I said, well, don't let that stop you. I don't care if it's 2 10s, 4 5s, whatever. So she ended up she went looking through her house, right? And she pulled out a change jar, like, to tell a story. So she actually went to her profile, and she actually talked about she did some storytelling, which we've talked about before, to people connect. She shared that when she was a kid, she used to scrounge up all the money she could to go to the pool. And, she was thinking about this, like, if you're scrounging up money, she basically related back to Scentsy. Anyways, so just, it's not too late. And just remember too, that if someone, we always have a free option too. Just because this $20 or $26 option is here this month, remember too, that you guys can leverage our host exclusive kit and get people that way. So if someone is still telling you that a $20 kit is too much, then keep those catch-all parties open so that you can offer a free opportunity. And it's just important that you just keep note of those people who aren't saying no, but they're giving you a reason why they can't. Take note of that so you can follow up later with, a free option or something. So I've gone back and looked through my list. I've actually got to make a couple extra reach outs, because when I posted at the beginning of the month, they said, oh yeah, I'm gonna look over this information and let you know. Well, I haven't heard back from them, and we've got 6 days left, 30 days past September, April, June, and November. Yeah. So May's got 31 days. We got 6 days left. So it's time for me to be like, hey, have you had enough time to think about it? But that's on me. It's not on them. It's on me. So if I don't reach back out and they don't join, that's my fault. So I just want to encourage you guys to do that if you haven't already.
That's great. I saw a lot of heads nodding, and even in the chat, they're like, oh, that's a really good idea. So thank you for those good pieces of advice there. Now, I see Amanda Morgan's on. She is a STAR director, and she and I were talking because we were both at level 1. And usually we're very aggressive. And I was like, whoa, we've got to get rolling here. We take very good care of our teams, but sometimes we neglect ourselves. And so she was like, that's it. I'm on a mission. And so things kind of changed this week with her recruiting and her sponsoring. And Amanda, if you don't mind unmuting yourself, if you don't mind quickly just kind of sharing how you were able to get like 2 new recruits when we both kind of had a dry spell for a moment there.
Sure.
Amanda, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, so let me tell y'all, I was feeling a little defeated, but really I had to get focused. Sometimes I focus too much on my whole group and team that I don't focus on me, my business and stuff like that. And so I had to focus. And so what I did is I was like, okay, I kept posting consistently about the $20 join special, but each time I would change it up. I would be like, oh my gosh, getting to go to field day today. Love the flexibility and freedom, blah, blah, blah. Things like that. So I just kept consistently posting. Well, one person went and liked my post. And she's someone that I met through a party. She's been my customer for a couple of years, just buys occasionally. And then out of nowhere, she likes my join post. I just messaged her. I was like, what do I have to lose? And I was like, hey, Shelly, I saw that you liked my post about the $20 join special. Do you know that you could take advantage of this? Literally, that's really how easy it was. And so I sent that to her. I said, you can make money on your purchases and anybody else who orders from you as well. And like almost instantly, she said, hi, Amanda, tell me more. And all I did was then I responded with a short message. And then I included my join link. And I left it at that. I've learned over time, don't spew. You're going to hear this from so many people, but don't word vomit. Don't tell them more. Like, let them ask the question and then you answer it and stop. Because sometimes we tend to want to tell them all the things and they shut down and they're like, I don't even want to hear about all that. Because then you start spewing all these goals and all these things, and maybe they don't want that. Maybe they really just want to join for the discount. So you have to really be in tune with, listen to what they're saying, listen to what they're asking, listen to what post did they respond to. Did you just say you wanted them to join just so they could get money back on their purchase? Don't say, hey, you could be a director tomorrow, so don't really listen to what they're asking and saying why they want to join. Okay. And then also another person, a good customer of mine, she orders from me and she ordered some fragrance flowers as gifts. I make sure to always label everything. This person loved their fragrance flower. She came to me. She placed an order. She ordered another fragrance flower. I reached out to her and messaged her in my Facebook group. And then same thing. She saw my post. She liked it. And I did the same thing. And so in less than a few days, so last Thursday, I think Thursday or Friday, I had one join, and like Saturday, the other join. And so don't be afraid. And, I will tell you that a star consultant on my team is the one that inspired me to do that, because anytime someone likes her post, she will go and message them, say, hey, thank you so much for liking my post. And she just immediately engages and builds a relationship. So her name is Deborah Childress. I don't know if she's on here or not, but I want to shout her out for that, because she inspired me to do something like that. And ultimately that gained me 2 team members of people that love Scentsy. So I can't wait to see where their journey takes them. They both joined for different reasons, but I also got out of my comfort zone and did something that I normally don't do. Just because someone liked my post, I wouldn't necessarily just go straight for the opportunity. But again, I've built that relationship with these 2, one short-term and one long-term, that I knew that they weren't going to be upset with me for saying it. So, and I went for it. Like, what if they get upset? I mean, they do, right? I can't control that. But what I can control is that I offered them the opportunity or not. So there's that. Sorry, it may have gone longer than what you wanted, but.
No, that went on actually the perfect amount of time. So thank you for sharing that. Again, I want to also share a little bit of the background, because, Amanda was, so busy doing all these incentives and challenges and training her team, that all of a sudden I was like, we're at the end of this incentive and we're not where we're supposed to be. And so she actually talked to another friend in the business in Scentsy, and she was like, girl, what are you doing? She was like, I hit level 3 like in my first 25 days or something like that. And so Amanda was just kind of like, oh. And so the reason why she hit level 3 in the first 25 days is because she was very much intentional, and she, kind of stayed the course, and made sure that she took care of it, and then, spread her wings to other areas. And so all of a sudden, Amanda, I saw her regroup, and she was like, I'm going to be very much intentional. That doesn't mean she was spammy, because I hear that. I don't want to spam. She wasn't pushy. She wasn't aggressive. She was just responsive, right? And then she sent me a screenshot, and she was like, woohoo, I got, a new team member. And I nicknamed her APP, because we all know that DPP is like the sponsoring queen. So I was like, go ahead, APP, with your bad self. So anyway, thank you for sharing that, Amanda, because there's some people that might think, oh, I'm too afraid to do that. But we always say that you don't grow in your comfort zone. It's very comfortable to be like, oh, I got 30 likes. That's so cute. Y'all, that's 30 opportunities for you to connect with someone. You don't know why they're liking your post. They might be too shy to go further with you, but it's okay to just kind of, respond if you feel led to, of course. And you never know what could come of that, because obviously she just got 2 team members from doing that. So it's just another option. All right. Anybody else? I see Kelly nodding her head over there, and Dorothy. Anything else that you want to add to the end of this month? Because I really do believe that there's more opportunity, that there's more people that still don't know about the $20 join kit. And if it was gone tomorrow, I can guarantee you that there's going to be some people saying, oh my gosh, I wish I would have known. I would have joined in a heartbeat for 20 bucks, but they didn't know. So any tips that either one of y'all want to offer as we close the month with the $20 join kit?
One thing I want to say, because it actually helped myself out, is don't be afraid to post about it more than once, or post about it in your stories, post about it if you have a VIP group, because don't just assume, oh, well, you posted once, no one said anything, and that's that, and just leave it alone. People, especially we know the way that the Facebook algorithm is crazy and all over the place, don't just assume that if you post it once here or there that someone's going to see it. Post it different times of the day, post it, like I said, in stories, Instagram, whatever you use, but don't just post it once and think, oh, that's good enough, I did that, and then the other thing is, because this is one thing that I hear all the time is, don't be afraid to sponsor your best customer. Because your best customer can definitely be your best team member. That's, one thing that I hear so many people say, well, I don't want her to join because that's my best customer. And no, like that is the best reason for her to join, so definitely don't count your best customer out either.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dorothy. All right, Kelly.
I got a whole bullet list.
Yay!
All right,
bring
guys.
it.
First thing, keep your crap off Facebook. Nobody may be joining you because you might be that depressing, you always got a problem. I mean, today I did pull my petty card, but you know what? It happens like once a year, and it keeps people entertained with what's going on in my personal life. But you know what? That attracts people too, which goes to attractive marketing. People are attracted to you. A lot of the times it depends if you are a positive person, if you are, keeping it real. Stay away from your damn flyers. Nobody wants to join a flyer. I promise, nobody wants to join a flyer. People want to join you. They're friends with you for a reason. They're staying friends with you for a reason, and you need to show your face and the products that you offer. And if you're not showing the products that you offer, then why should they join you? Because there's plenty of consultants all over the world that are showing the products that they have to offer and not a flyer. How many times do you guys see a flyer from maybe a different company and you just scroll past it because it's like spammy? But you know what? Maybe if I'm doing my hair with the dog detangler, I mean, that's always a good one to get attention, and showing them this damn sun's killing me. I'll just reposition here. But using yourself in your products versus the flyers, because I don't know, you're like Dorothy was just saying with the algorithms, those are just going to get looked past, but it's an actual photo of yourself. It's going to get way more attention. So again, keep the negative crap off Facebook. Nobody wants to join the negative person, or you're always sick, or something's broke, or you need prayers. I mean, I can name a million things, and they're usually pretty consistent. Like the person that's always hurt, they're hurt like every damn day for whatever reason, like they got bad luck or something. But you can keeping it positive, keeping your drama off Facebook. I'm trying to think of some, but I've actually been blessed in the drama department lately where I haven't had any. But I remember I used to be that girl. I had a million haters and I posted about them every damn day. So if you're that girl now, stop it before it gets too hectic and people start deleting you. The day you plant the seed is not the day you might reap the reward. There's a saying like that going around. You can be planting all these seeds right now with this $20 join special, and Carol touched on it earlier. You might be planting your seed now, but you might be reaping the reward in 9 or 10 years. And I can promise you, because there's some of my friends that are on right now that have watched me for 10 years and they're just joining. I had 2 join me last week. They've been my friends since I was 10 years old. They've watched my entire journey for 10 years. I don't know why, but they joined last week. Like 10 years, you see me making money, making a business. Why'd you wait 10 years? I don't know. I have another friend on here. She's watched me for 7 or 8 years, but you know what? I've been planting that seed for years. Don't get frustrated if they don't join you now. But when they go to say, hey, Kelly, I need a 6-pack of wax. And I'm going to say, you know what? Do you want a discount? And I stop them right there. You know what? Because I can give you a discount for $20. for the rest of your life if you put in a $200 order once a year. Well, you do that every other month. So you know what? Let me make you some money. And I don't talk about joining a business. I don't talk about training people. I don't talk about all the stuff. I think it was Dorothy or Emily that had talked about puking information, or it was Amanda, puking information all over people. I only ask people what they ask me. I used to be a puker until I learned better. Like I could have been bulimic for real, but I was puking information all over them. And now I help my team with that. So if they're having issues with their sponsoring, I'm going to say, send me a copy of your message, and then I can give them feedback on what you're doing. And I say, you know what, instead of me filling in the blanks for you, you send me the message that you would send your person that you're trying to recruit. And I'm going to send you a message back and tell you where you can improve on this. Because you know what, if I don't help them now, they're going to continue to puke all over people for the next like 3 years until they learn better. But you having that, which we went into the other day with that sponsor, what did we do? That where we went back and forth with each other. I forgot what the hell it's called, but role playing. The role playing. How are you going to know if you don't practice? So I'm able to see what you're saying and what you're doing and giving you feedback on that. And then you guys can go from there with the stuff that you're learning, maybe from your director, your spouse. And then I already touched on that. Don't depend on the flyers. Like, there's so many apps out here that you guys can be using, and maybe that could be an actual conversation for a Dreamstruck one night, is all the different apps that everybody's using or what's working for them. Think back, Teresa, when we were at the retreat and how quick you were able to pick up on an over app that she hadn't used. It literally took 2 minutes and it was a game changer. So we'll put that in the back of our heads for maybe something in the future, or even you guys can give ideas of things that you want to hear about or you want to learn about, and maybe we can make them topics in the future too. But I'm done talking now.
So that was really good. I really love how you said, to kind of keep your social media, it doesn't have to be like Pollyanna positive, but, people want to choose you. And sometimes if they see your dreams, coming along, it doesn't have to be something massive. Like I went from being homeless to whatever it is, people are following your life. But if you're, and we all have some drama, right? But if you're constantly posting drama, especially the ones like, won't believe what happened today. Well, I'm just not going to believe it because I'm definitely not going to ask you, those phishing posts. But you have someone that does that like all the time. And if that's you, stop it. If you want to put your drama, just put it all out there, but don't have people fishing. But also do not expect them to join your team either. They might like your drama. They might have popcorn. They might have a soda. And they'll watch you and they'll tune in and they'll even co-sign, be like, girl, they are wrong. They are wrong for cussing you out. They're not going to join your team. Okay. The other thing too, so I'm glad that you said that, Kelly, because there's sometimes where I'm just kind of cringing, like when you're going through social media or Facebook, it's like turning the channel with the remote. And I'm like, oh, what are they doing? No, don't post that. Please delete it. But anyway, be mindful. And sometimes I know we get down out. And if you catch yourself doing that, go back and delete it, because people want, they're attracted to positivity. Sometimes their life is crappy. And so they're not trying to join your crappy life or my crappy life. Right. So the other thing, gosh, that I wanted to say, it was so important too. It was a good one. As far as sponsoring is concerned, oh gosh, I just lost it, but it was so good. If it comes back, I will definitely mention it. Jeez. Oh, well, I totally lost it. But anyway, just go out there. Do not be afraid to have, those conversations. Even if you're at zero right now, I believe that it's not over until the 31st at the last hour, but set yourself a goal. And kind of like what Amanda said, it doesn't matter what your title is. You can be a superstar director, a star director. You can be a lead consultant. Some people are like, it's kind of like going fishing, some people might have a whole bucket of fish and you might not have any, but that doesn't mean that if you don't continue or stay out there a little bit longer, that you can't catch your fish also, right? So do not give up, you will be very proud of yourself. And also, I feel like, walking this journey, I walked it alone for about a year and a half-ish, almost 2 years. And it's definitely, we are better together. I wish that I could have, joined with a best friend or somebody to kind of learn the ropes together. But here we are now. The other thing that I wanted to say too, kind of like what Kelly said, my little sister joined, And I've been trying to get her to join, and then, and I kind of stopped, but it was always no, I'll buy from you. And then just out of blue, I think I was sharing a story, about how my life is now and what it once was. And so out of the blue, she just called me and was like, I'm ready. And I was like, what? I didn't even see that coming. And so I say that because even your blood, your family can tell you, no, I love you, just want to buy from you. They can tell you that for years, even though they see how you're being blessed and they can see the community, they can see the support, they're watching you. Even though they told you no, not once, not twice, not 3 times or more, they're still watching you to see, is this thing real? And it is. And so you never know when you're also going to get that phone call of someone else that says, I want to walk this journey as well. So do not give up. Do not get frustrated. If for some reason sponsoring isn't your forte, it's definitely not mine, but I still do it. I want to do it, but I'm constantly a sponge. I go to YouTube. Today I listened to the All Consultants, call that Home Office puts on. It's actually really good now. It used to be boring, but now it's good. I listened to, different pages on Facebook where we have like the monthly movement. I'm always looking for things for sponsoring. You might say, Teresa, I don't have time. My kids are in sports. I got this going on. I got that going on. I do not have time to sit here and listen to an hour worth of Dreamstruck. Whether you guys are funny or not, I don't have time. You tell me that. And as soon as Dreamstruck ends, I'm going to go to your timeline and I'm going to see that you just played a game to see what potato you are. You have time. You have time for what you make important to you. Okay. I see it every single time. And it's almost a test now. Whenever someone comes to me and says they don't have time, I start stalking their Facebook for the next 3 days. I'm like, oh yeah, but you got time to make your own scissors, right? You got time to do some crazy stuff. You have time. So
the recipe people,
the other thing too
is that share all the recipes.
Yeah.
They got time.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing too. I saw that today. Someone told me that they didn't have time. They cooked this chicken Alfredo, you guys. This is a true story. And not only did they cook the chicken Alfredo, they needed to because they need to eat, right? Everyone needs to eat. But then they took it a step further to say, I have time to take a picture of the chicken Alfredo. And now I have time to type out and choose the font that I want and the color so you can make the chicken Alfredo too. But I don't have time to listen to training. Come on now. You can cook chicken Alfredo and you can listen to us. Multitask. So the same thing for me. If I'm driving around, because like today I went to an awards ceremony, as I'm driving, I'm not listening to the radio. I can listen to that anytime. I'm listening to training. And no matter how high I get up, no matter how long I'm with this company, I never, ever want to stop learning, because the best people in every industry that you study, be it Warren Buffett, be it Steve Jobs, everyone, one thing that they all say that's common is that they read and they're constantly a student. And you might say, why are you a student? You're a billionaire. And even their mindset says, I cannot stop learning. But then there's others of us that's like, oh, I don't want to learn. You can learn and you can do what we're doing. There is no limit there to seats, in Scentsy, in this business, to those that can succeed. The only limitation is your limited belief. And that was another podcast that I listened to, was a limited belief system. It's not the system, it's the limited belief. So stop limiting your beliefs. Stop limiting yourself, saying, well, the doors are closed. It's not closed. And so tonight we want to challenge all of you. If you are at zero with a $20 join opportunity, I want to challenge you every day. Tell a story. Like what Amanda said, if you're going to your kids' awards ceremony, tell that. I'm so glad that, the business I'm in, that I don't have to miss these opportunities anymore. I can go on field trips. I can bring my kid their lunch or whatever. So, okay, I think that that we all kind of nailed that. We're winding down here. And one of the things that Kelly said, and I want to touch on in closing, is that we are getting ready to build the content for the next month or two for Dreamstruck. And we want to hear from you. Since January, we've kind of put our heads together and kind of came up with what we thought you wanted to hear. But there's other things. We don't know what you don't know. So if you don't tell us what you don't know, we can't help you. And the whole purpose of us spending an hour every single Tuesday night is not because we're bored making chicken Alfredo. It's because we want to serve you. And that's what leaders do, right? So let us know what you need help with. Somebody had mentioned the other day that they love animal rescues. not only do they love animals, but they love animal rescues. And so they would love to be able to fundraise, for that, but they don't know how. They know how to fundraise, but they don't really know how to get into animal rescue fundraising. That could be a topic one night, to bring so many people in, to learn about. Dorothy is an expert when it comes to school fundraisers, so we're going to kind of put together, maybe Kelly and I can make a Google Doc or something, I don't know, where you all can kind of, click on the Google Doc link and let us know what your thoughts are for the next couple of months, especially as we're going into the summer and everyone's traveling. We're going to have some things coming up next month. We have Bring Back My Bar. I was listening to Carol. Oh my gosh, if you guys are on her group page, she was doing a sniff session and I was just rolling, especially what did you get to? Palo Santo or whatever? Palo Santo, yeah. She's kind of know how it got in here.
Terrible. It's disgusting. Yeah. I don't know how it got in here. I don't know who voted it back, but their nose is broken. Whoever did it.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, I was crying because I thought she was going to go through and be like, well, if you like cigar scents, so she's like, this is disgusting. But anyway, that's coming up. There's a big announcement that Scentsy is going to be sharing at the end of this month. We don't know what it is. We don't know who's going to share it, when it's going to be shared, but that's also some momentum that I'm using with my customers to say, hey, there's something exciting that's happening, at the end of this month. You might want to be a part of that. And then after the month of June, we're going to go into July, and usually that's closing off our catalog season. Last year it didn't happen. It could happen this year, but normally at the end of the catalog season, everything in the catalog is generally 10% off if we can afford it, depending on the product availability, if we have that stability there. So there's a lot of things to plan for in the months ahead, but we want to be able to help you. Also, Scentsy Family Reunion. Scentsy Family Reunion is only $11. If you're new to Scentsy, it's $11. It's going to be virtual this year. Someone asked me how much does it normally cost. Usually it's about $250 for early birds. So you're saving like how much? $239. And you're still going to get, pretty much the same excitement, just less money and not in person. So also, if you're on here and you're like, I'm already enrolled or I'm already registered, your challenge as a leader, whether you're a lead consultant or whatever, if you have a team, your challenge is to encourage your team member to be a part of the virtual Scentsy Family Reunion. Leaders are absolutely born at events, and I've seen so many leaders last year that were born at the virtual event. So I want to make sure that that's not out of sight, out of mind. And if you're a leader, why don't you go on your team pages, on your superstar directors pages, and post a picture of your favorite SFR moment, whether it was a product announcement or the fireworks or Heidi crying or, the charitable cause, but whatever it is, people don't know when we say SFR, they don't know what that is, but people can relate to storytelling. So tell your story. We want to get as many people there as possible because I think that they mentioned that they were going to introduce or share 60 products that have never, ever been seen before. That's insane. And you don't want to have FOMO, like, oh my gosh, what are they watching? You want to be a part of that. So, all right, that's all that I kind of have here. And we still have a couple of minutes. Is there anyone else on here that wants to say anything? Some last parting words to our Dreamstruck family, so we can end this month with a freaking bang.
I think I saw that Debbie wanted to.
Oh, yeah, Debbie.
Okay, guys, I wanted to share a few things with you in closing. I was looking at my computer right now, and I noticed that I have 16 new team members this month. And as I look through the list, I kind of want to just kind of tell you guys a little bit about each one of these, not all of them, but the last person that joined my team is a customer. She's been buying, I guess, for about maybe 5 or 6 years from me. She loved Disney products. So what I do each morning when I wake up before I go to work, it's a certain time of the day that you want to post. One, early in the morning, because you got people who are out there looking on social media early in the morning. The next time is in the afternoon or lunchtime. And the next time is at night. So I always pivot those times to post. because you're going to find that different people are going to be watching the stuff at different times. So I post, this lady just went out there and joined without me asking her. I've asked her years ago and she wouldn't, but she joined. She just showed up in my workstation. Okay, the next person, she's somebody else that loved Disney. She just joined. And now she sent me a message first. She said, do you have to stock inventory? So I find that a lot of people will not join Scentsy for various reasons. One is that they feel like they have to stock inventory. So in the different posts that I make, I go out there and I talk about the things that they don't have to do, because we talk about what they have to do, but to talk about what they don't have to do is what I find that really get people a lot of times, in addition to the stories. So when you go out there and tell them that they don't have to place an order every month, there are no fees, monthly fees. There are no meetings that they have to attend. So you talk about all the things they don't have to do, and it kind of opens the door. So as soon as I told her no products, she have to have no products on hand, she went on a join. The next person is somebody that was referred to me. Somebody else told her about me as a person to lead her, she joined. The other person I connected with in a networking group. Most of these people who joined my team this month are random people that I did not ask. I think I only asked 2 people. The 2 that I asked were birthday messages that I sent out. The lady wanted to buy a whip box and something else. And I told her about the $20 join special. As a matter of fact, I said, do you know anybody who may be interested in joining Scentsy at $20? We got a $20 special going on. She said, okay, I'll do it. So I gave the money back to her that she paid me for her order. She joined. So each one of these individuals who joined had a special situation, and most of them I did not know. And it's because of the way that I post. I post in the morning, afternoon, and at night, and it's the things that you say. And then of course they're looking at my story, because I share that all the time. And of course I have the albums that I keep. So it's all about how you do it. And it's all about mindset. It's about what you tell yourself. I tell myself every day that I'm a recruiting rock star. And I tell my team members, even if you don't have anybody, speak that into existence, because what you speak, you believe it and you achieve it. So I say this, and I always say it, and this is the reason why my numbers are so high, because I'm going to have the radar on, looking for somebody that need an answer for the problem that they have. So look for those people who need a solution to their problem. Always feel like you're going to be blessing somebody. Never feel like you're going to be a burden, because somebody blessed you with the opportunity. So never feel like you're going to be bombarding anybody, because remember, somebody blessed us. So it's time for us to pay it forward.
Okay, thank you so much, Debbie. I really like that. Someone asked in the chat, do you post in your VIP group or on your personal page? And I responded that I know that you post a lot on your personal page when you were talking about that time frame throughout the day. And also, it's very important to note that your personal page is open to the public. So sometimes people can be Googling. You're also on YouTube as well. And so sometimes people will Google and find Debbie, but because her profile is open, they can easily access her and message her and communicate and join her team. So as she mentioned, as she began talking, she has 16 new team members this month, 16, 1-6, and that's amazing. Okay, I think that's all that we have for the evening. It is 8:02 p.m. I just, again, want to thank you all so much for taking time out of your schedules to be here with us tonight. We will have the schedule out for the topics for the month of June. And also check the events in your SSD's group pages if there are events that are created. Sometimes there are, and you can set yourself a reminder. But you know that you can always meet us here every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And you know what? Big props to Fred. We want to give a shout out to Fred and his funny story in the beginning. So tell Fred we all said, hey. All right, y'all have a good night, and let's keep dreaming, and let's keep going, and let's keep growing. Good night, everybody.